All right. Whew. Tell you what, I'm freezing, I'm cold, it's rainy, it's snowing. But every Monday, new video, and I'm sticking to that no matter what. Now listen carefully, everybody. The last video I made did very, very, very well, so thank you for that. It was 4 rules on negotiating, how to get the best deal on a car. This video, it's gonna kind of piggyback off of that video. I'm gonna give you 5 rules on what you should do before you actually buy the car. Once the numbers are figured out and you're getting close to pulling that trigger, 5 things you should consider before you actually buy that car. With rule number 1, this is very important, and people kind of sleep on this and they don't really do it. But can you see me? You gotta call your insurance. Now, you might be watching this and thinking, that's obvious, I do that all the time. But there's a good amount of people that don't do that, and you'd be surprised how many times I've seen people about to buy the car, they're about to pull the trigger, and they're happy with their payment, they're happy with the car, they're happy with everything, but they call their insurance and it's X amount of dollars per month and the whole thing blows up. The customer's sad, the dealership's sad, the salesperson's sad, all because you didn't make that one phone call and get a quote from your insurance. It's a simple rule, it's the first rule, but it is a rule. Call your insurance and get a quote on that car you want to buy. Rule number 1, done. Now, the sole objective of this video is to give you 5 really good rules that you should really take into account before you actually buy the car. We already discussed negotiating and getting a good price. These 5 rules are going to save you money, they're going to save you time, they're going to save you your energy, and they're going to help you buy the right car, because you might buy a car in the the spur of the moment and you might kind of look back and be like, I shouldn't have bought this. These rules are really, really good for that. Leading into my rule number 2, which again, this is kind of, an obvious one, but it's important and people don't do it, believe it or not. You gotta drive the car. Let me break this down real quick and real easy. A lot of people will walk to a dealership and feel like they already know what they're buying, right? Because they did a lot of research and they won't drive the car. And they'll sign the paperwork. They'll, like they say, they sign over the dotted line and it's done. It's your car. That is your car. And you'll leave the dealership all excited, blah, blah, blah. But after a couple weeks, couple days, even a month or so, you might hate the way the car drives. You need to drive the car. You need to see if there's any bugs in it. You got to see if there's anything wrong with it. You got to see how you feel in it, whether it's a used one or new one. This is mostly used, because if you don't drive a used car before you buy it. Now, before we discuss rule number 3, I just want to point something out real quick. I've noticed in my last video, I got a lot of comments regarding my mustache, and a lot of criticism with the mustache. And listen, guys, we all have genetics, and some of us have good genetics for beards, and some of us have bad genetics for beards. I'm somewhere on the bad spectrum, so get off my grill about the dang mustache. Okay, so rule number 3. Read this carefully, guys. Read it very carefully, okay? Now, let me break this down. That way we're all on the same page and we all understand each other. When I say you got to be realistic, basically what I'm talking about, if you're going in on a used vehicle, and I see this all the time with my clients, other people's clients, all around the place, people are too critical when they're buying a used vehicle, point blank, period. If you're going in for a used car, it'll never be perfect. You'll never find a used car that is perfect. And all you're doing is stressing yourself out, and you're wasting time. If it has a little ding, if it has a little scratch, if it has a little, if it's not perfect, it's not perfect. Now, if it's a new car, I get it. You want that thing to be new. I get it. But a used car, it's not going to be perfect. Get what you can get. If it's in the right price and it's the car you want, it has a little ding, a little scratch, a little this, a little that, you got to live with it, guys. Now, what you can do is use that as leverage with a little bit of, negotiations, which, God bless, do that. But, yeah, you got to be realistic, guys. That brings us to rule number 4, probably one of the most important rules, one of the most underlooked rules, and I cannot believe how many people do not do this. But let's get into it right here, right now. Read that, guys. Show me the Carfax. Show me the Carfax. You might be looking at this video, watching this video, and thinking, that's obvious. But I'm telling you right now, 90% of the people that buy a used vehicle do not check the Carfax. They just buy it. Why would you not check the Carfax? The Carfax will tell you the service history. It will tell you if it's been in an accident. It will tell you how many owners. It will tell you the oil, how many oil changes, the schedule. You got to look at the Carfax. I mean, it literally tells you what you're buying. If it's quality or if it's not quality, it will tell you the average price of the vehicle. If you're getting a good deal for the vehicle, show me the Carfax. And again, I'm not sponsored by the Carfax company. I'm not, nothing like that. But it's obvious. Whether it's AutoCheck or Carfax, you got to look at that before you're buying a used car. I mean, let's just say you're getting a kick butt deal on a used car, and you don't check the Carfax, you take that puppy home, it has 3 accidents on it. It's done. That's your car. 3 accidents. After a car gets into 1 accident, it'll never be the same. I don't care if it's a little fender bender or whatever the accident was. Once that car is in a accident, it will never, ever be the same. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the last and final rule. A very important rule. But first, if you made it to this point in the video and you're getting value from this video, do me a favor, just subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Leave a like. I really would like to hit 1,000 likes. If we can do that, I'd be very, very, very happy. And just leave a comment. You can ask me a question. You can give your opinion. You can disagree with me. That's all good. You can just comment literally anything for the algorithm. I would really, really, really appreciate it. And it would just put a smile on my face. All right. Rule number 5. Let's do this. Yep. It's always good to get a second opinion. And again, this might be obvious for some people, but this goes overlooked. 90% of the time, you should always get a second opinion. You might be, and this might sound odd coming from someone that, is in the car industry, but it's always good to get a second opinion, guys. I mean, you might be making a mistake. You might not know something about that car. I just think getting a second opinion on literally anything you do in life is a good idea. And especially when you're making such a big financial decision like buying a car, getting a second opinion is just great from your parents, from your brother, from your sister, from your friend, from your aunt, wherever, whoever. Get a second opinion. I mean, you even get a second opinion from the man right here. Leave a comment and be like, what do you think about this car? And I'll tell you straight up if it's a good car or a not so good car. But getting a second opinion is a very wise, smart, and good thing to do. Just like that, those are my 5 rules of what you should do before you buy a car. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you want to see in my next video. Tell me what you need to see in the next video. The information that you really want. I'm out of here. Let's go.